Please get ready for the passage. Sir, I would like to start my statement by saluting in the memory of the martyrs who have laid down their lives while guarding our borders. I would also like to thank the honorable members who are present in the House because their presence indicates their support to this bill. Definitely, I would like to thank the other honorable members who have spoken and supported the bill which provides for constitution of an armed force of the Union for ensuring the security of the borders of India and the conditions of services of the members of the force. It provides for the offences, punishments, deductions from pay and allowances, arrests and proceedings before trial, confirmation, revision of proceedings, execution of sentences, pardon and remissions. This bill will become a law and will help the force to function in a manner in which other forces are working. The BSF was created by a statute. Other forces like the CRPF, the ITBP, the Assam Rifles also have statutes. Now, this force also will have a statute, and it would be helpful to see that this force functions in a proper manner. Sir, there are a few points which have been raised by the honorable members. One of the points raised is why we should have many border forces. Our borders are very long. It is not realized that a very long area of more than 7,000 kilometers has to be guarded. One of the most important things is that this border is in the Himalayan region. These are very, very difficult areas. It is not easy to live in these areas and remain there during winter when there is not even a blade of grass or not even a tree standing over there. Now, these are very, very difficult areas. Some of these officers and men are living at a very, very high altitude, that is, at a height of 18,000 feet, and some of them tell me that if they live there for 1 year, it is equivalent to 3 years of their lifetime, that is, their life is reduced by 3 years. Nobody realizes what kind of duties they have to perform living in these difficult areas and guarding the borders. This has to be realized. Now, because of different kinds of terrain and different kinds of geographical areas which have to be guarded, the forces have to perform their duties little differently. That is why the forces which are guarding the borders, which is between Bangladesh and India, will be living in a different kind of atmosphere and a different kind of a terrain, while the forces which are guarding the border between Pakistan and India are living in a different kind of a terrain. The forces which will be guarding the borders between Nepal and India or Bhutan and India will also be in a different kind of geographical area, and the forces which are guarding the area between Tibet and India will also be having a different kind of a terrain. They were all brought into existence at different times. The Assam Rifles is also as old as 100 years, whereas the BSF was brought into existence in the 60s. So, the time at which they were brought into existence and the area in which they are functioning are different. That is why the character which they have developed has to be maintained and it is going to be helpful. Moreover, if you have such a long border and if you have such a large force of, say, 8 lakh officers and men working over there, it becomes very difficult to control them and maintain the discipline from one area. Even for that purpose, it would become necessary to see that different divisions are created and they work there. Now that they are in existence under different names and there are different forces, these things are continued and the government does not have any plan of merging them into one force or having only one force. It is also not necessary. It is good that they are working in this fashion. It is good that they have their own expertise and they are using that expertise. One of the honorable members spoke about attrition. Now, it is true that the members of these forces are working in very, very difficult conditions and the rate of attrition is very, very high. As a matter of fact, it is not the defense forces which are in the first line. It is the paramilitary forces which are in the first line in guarding the international borders. It is only on the actual line of control that the defense forces are in the first line. But at other places, the paramilitary forces are there. Now, because they are living at very high altitudes and in very difficult areas, even the supplies are sent to them through helicopters. And when the food material is dropped or other materials are dropped, sometimes the material is lost. Then there is loneliness.